What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Trent the Truth Show. I'm your host, Trent the Truth. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're listening from, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on YouTube and Spotify. It's the Trent the Truth Show. And while you're doing that, give us some love on social media. It's Trent the Truth on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you search. Real quick, today's episode is brought to you by H&K Exclusive Auto Detailing. H&K Car Detailing Service in Hammond, Indiana. Services cars, trucks, doing detailing, washing, ceramic coating, paint correction, headlight restoration, and more. Located 7104 Kennedy Avenue, Hammond, Indiana, 46323. Give us a call, 219-845-2725. Schedule an appointment or get an estimate. Open 6 days a week. Monday and Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Closed Sunday. Make sure you give us a call or stop by for whatever you need. H&K Exclusive Auto Detailing. And just like I tell you guys, if you want to be a guest, you want to sponsor an episode, you have any questions, comments, or anything you want me to address, email me at trentthetruthshow@gmail.com. Again, that's trentthetruthshow@gmail.com. And if you're feeling good, you want to make a donation, our cash app is TrentTheTruth88. Again, that's TrentTheTruth88. Don't forget to put the $sign on the front. And for the people out there watching the TV land, we got the QR code on the screen, so you can just pull your phone out and easily just make that donation if you want to, right from your phone on the screen. TrentTheTruth88 is the cash app. But whatever you decide to do, whatever you decide to email us on, if you have a question or comment, if you do want to donate, if you do want to be a sponsor, or if you do want to be a guest, that's what that email is for. That's what that cash app is for. And we're grateful for whatever you decide to do, just as long as you loving and enjoying and appreciating the Trent the Truth Show. Because I'm definitely loving and enjoying and appreciating all my fans. I'm loving all the good feedback that I'm getting, man, and I'm just continuing to press forward, man. We continuing with these episodes week after week after week. Want to send a major shout out to my editing team, TP Media. Man, one of the behind the scenes heroes, making sure everything with the Trent the Truth Show goes well in regards to all the editing and everything that you see on your screen and all the details and all your on-screen effects, the lovely music, everything that you get a chance to experience while you're watching the Trent the Truth Show. We have TP Media to thank for that. And if you don't have any good photography, any good media companies, make sure you hit up TP Media for your family needs, school needs, pictures, games, whatever you need pictures for. Fall coming up, you may want to get some family pictures, whatever it is. Hit TP Media. Make sure you do that as well. But that's part of the reason why this Trent the Truth Show is still going strong. It's not only just what I'm doing on the screen, it's everything that's going on behind the screen. So we just making sure we just appreciating everything. So along with the fans, along with the good feedback, we're appreciating the team. And just like, with everything that we're doing with the show, we try to make sure we keep a good flow going. We try to make sure we keep a good show. And we always have our word of the day. We're going to do our shot of the day. I already have me a little bit, so I'm feeling good. If you can't tell already. Gonna do our tips. We got some topics. And I'm gonna send it all the way out at the end with a message. You already know how it go. But just, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Like I say, I don't have bad weeks. I don't have bad weeks. Things happen. I'm not saying my life is just perfect. I don't live in no bubble or no shit like that. I do live in the real world. I do experience setbacks. But I feel like all of those things is just a mindset. Shit is going to happen. It's all in how you respond to it. And the way I choose to respond to things is with a positive mental attitude. So when problems arise, I just see it as another step to climb, another hurdle to jump over, So bad days don't exist. And because they don't exist with me. I always try to make sure I have good weeks. Good days, stack them up, they turn into good weeks. Good weeks turn into good months. Good months turn into good years. And you look up, you carrying on, maintaining a great life. And that's all it's about. It's not necessarily about the highlights all the time. You can make some, but you live your own life, running your own race, doing things your own way, and you're getting the results. Just be happy, be satisfied. And I'm okay with that. I'm one of them. I like to feel like I'm a minimalist. I don't need a lot of things to keep me happy, to keep me going, to make me feel fulfilled. So, the simple things in life is what you learn is what's important. The material things are going to come and go, but it's the people in your life and it's the things that you're able to do and the way you're able to make yourself feel and the way you spend the most valuable thing that you have while you're here which is your time. As long as you're doing all those things the right way, everything that you decide to do is going to work. So, with all that being said, bad days don't exist. Bad weeks don't exist. Bad years don't exist. They all become lessons. So we just build on those. And that's what keeps me going. It's just that little motivation. Sometimes you got to do that. A lot of times you got to do that. Because shit, sometimes you're not gonna have somebody sitting up motivating you. You're gonna have to do it yourself sometimes. And before you ran into the Trent the Truth show, you didn't have to do that yourself. But I'm here to motivate you as well. But even when you're not playing the show, even when I'm not around, you still got to motivate yourself. And that's just all where that comes from. Just that self-motivation, keeping a positive mental attitude, and just understanding that because these days are going to come, I'm ready for them. I let life know each and every day when my feet hit the floor, bring a motherfucking lunch because I'm here. So keeping the mindset like that, what's a bad day? Boom. Just like Preacher Paulie. Every day is a sunny day. So that's how I build off those things and it keeps me going, man. So that's how we doing it. That's how we doing it. And we staying strong, moving right along, keeping the flow of the show going. Like I say, with the flow of the show, always making sure instead of using low level words, low level vocabulary, or even if you just know, even when you want to do that, just make sure you throwing in new words here and there. And I try to make sure I do that. The time I spent in school was enough, but it's still any kind of way that you can educate yourself. You want to make sure you're doing that. You want to make sure you read. You want to make sure you listen to ebooks, whatever it is you got to do. A small thing that I do is I use this Word of the Day app. I downloaded this Word of the Day app a little while ago, and I try to make sure I check it every day. Try to make sure I educate myself. I try to make sure when I download this app that, I get good use off of it. Some apps I got on my phone, I don't really get good use out of, but I try to make sure I use this Word of the Day app very much. So the word of the day is going to be chasing. Let's get the pronunciation.
Chasing.
Chasing is spelled Chasten. Again, Chasten. Chasing is a verb. And what chasing means is to correct or improve by disciplinary measures. To correct or improve by disciplinary measures. And like I always say, with the word of the day, I just try to make sure I'm using it and able to understand it by using it in a sentence. Sometimes kids will not get the message the first, second, probably not even the third time. It's going to take you to have to raise your voice. Sometimes they may need a little chasing, but they're going to have to understand authority. And it's your job to make sure they do that. That was a good way for me to use that word of the day, chasing. If you don't have that word of the day app, make sure you do that. Make sure you download it. It's free. Like I said, it don't cost nothing to educate yourself outside of school. Once you get out of that high school level, school after that is going to cost. But this word of the day app doesn't. Download it, put it on your phone, use it every day. Educate yourself. Chasing is going to be our word of the day. Man, this water's pretty good. And look, I be seeing a lot of reels and they talk about how you really shouldn't be drinking water, and water don't do nothing for you, and you really should get the water from the fruits and the electrolytes for your body and what it's meant for, and all of those things may be true, and that shit is nice. But it wasn't until I started to really get an influx of those videos when I started to feel like the people who smoke cigarettes watching those truth commercials, because I don't really give a damn. I'm gonna drink me some damn water. I do understand water has its benefits, and I understand what them niggas be trying to say when they be dissing water, like you motherfuckers ain't been drinking water your whole life. And now just because you got a little piece of information and shit, you want to shit on motherfuckers that drinking water, playing them like they lost. No, cuz that ain't the thing. Water is gonna always be a supplement to my life. It has different benefits. It has different benefits, just like the fruits and the waters that you get from the fruits. They are meant to electrify and give you all the minerals and things that you need as well. But water is going to be a part of my life. So when I started to see those reels a lot, I was drinking water when I saw that reel, and I'm gonna drink me some motherfucking water now. I love spring water, and that's what And I eat my fruit. I get my nutrients from those things, and like I said, I get what they saying, but shit, water is it for me, buddy. I love it. It keeps me hydrated. At least that's what I think. At least that's what's been working for me. Whenever I needed to be hydrated, I drank water, and I felt like it worked the most. Liquids, period. Like shit, So it wasn't until, like I said, this internet rolled around and like shit, motherfuckers started getting a little piece of information, and now water ain't shit. I'm like, all right, man, go ahead. I'm gonna have me some water though. But on top of having that water, you already know what's going on. Libations, baby. Grab your glasses, grab your ice, grab your cups, gather around. It's time to pull up. For real. You know what time it is, baby. It's time for that shot of the day. Like I say, I already been sipping, so shit. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. And you got to get warmed up when you get ready to jump in front of these cameras and shit. I'm glad I'm not no real ass like celebrity entertainer to where I got to get in front of thousands and thousands and thousands night after night after night after night. Because I know they doing hard drugs. I know they doing something. They ain't doing that sober. You can miss me with that one. But in order for me to make sure I keep a good flow with this show, so to make sure I come in and make my points and to stay fluid with things, unfortunately, I may need a little oil to do that. And with this shot of the day, today we're going to be celebrating our Lunazul Blanco. We didn't had the Lunazul Reposado before, but this is also another form of it. We got the Blanco. Some of the information that I gathered from the Lunazul Blanco, it was made in Mexico, produced in Jalisco, Mexico, the birthplace of authentic tequila. You want to make sure a good tequila that you get from there is from Jalisco, Mexico. It's founded by a tequila family legacy. The brand was created by Francisco Beckman, a 7th generation tequila maker from the same family that founded Jose Cuervo. That's pretty nice. The name Lunazul means blue moon in Spanish. The blue also ties to the blue Weber agave plant that they use, which is the only type of agave legally allowed to make tequila. The Blanco style is bottled right after distillation or aged very briefly. It gives you the purest taste of the agave plant with a flavor profile, nice, clean, and crisp. Hints of citrus, pepper, fresh agave. Lunazul is affordable, but it's still quality. You can get a nice fifth for $7.50, anywhere in between $20 to $30. But what's on sale right now is the liter. This is on sale right now. You can actually get this for about $20 to $30. You already know some good drinks you can make with this. Is the classic margarita. Take you some Lunazul Blanco, add you some fresh lime juice, triple sec, agave syrup, salt on the rim. That's your option if you want to do that. I'm not really one of them salt on the rim niggas. I don't do that. I don't do the salt. I don't do the sugar on the rim. Just give me my tequila, give me a little lime, and I'm straight with that. You can also make the Paloma, Luna Azul Blanco with a little grapefruit soda, fresh lime juice, and a pinch of salt. Again, if you one of them. You can make the Tequila Sunrise, Luna Azul Blanco with a little bit of orange juice, grenadine for that layered look to make it look like that, that sunrise, that red, orangey kind of look. You can make a ranch water, which is also a Texas classic. Take you some Luna Azul Blanco with some sparkling mineral water with a squeeze of fresh lime. And really, you can have your Luna Azul straight, on the rocks, neat. Any one of these drinks that we just named, you can have it however you choose. But in my community, we just crack that motherfucker open and pour a cup. And that's what we gonna do. Our Luna Azul Blanco is gonna be our shot of the day. Don't know what you're doing, don't know where you at. But it is 5 o'clock somewhere. Go on and pour you a cup and join us. Shot of the day, baby, coming from Luna Azul. Cups up in the air. And they all said, cheers. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's good. Tequila is nice and smooth. You can handle that tequila. Or at least I know I can. Tequila don't give me no hard time. Not like that whiskey. Not like that whiskey. Tequila is smooth. Get you in a nice little party mood. But even though I favor the Reposados a little bit more, sometimes, I run into be a nice silver or a Blanco, whichever one they want to call it. And I grab it. And today that's going to be the Luna Azul Blanco. And it's already got me circulating, feeling good. Shit, I'm sure you can tell. So we going. And like I say, keeping the show going, keeping the flow nice and smooth. I try to have mass. I try to bunch it all in. I don't rush, but I take my time. But at the same time, I don't bullshit. Get in, get out, get on. I got other things to do. You got other things to do, places to be. You got other podcasts to listen to. And you like them celebrity ones. But they don't be talking about shit about how rich they are. So let me hurry up and get you back to that. But before you get back there, though, I got a little teach of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep things rolling. Game on. You know how that go. Game on. So keeping the show rolling. Everything with all of the wisdom that you get from your brothers, from your elders, from your forefathers, from your aunties, from your big sisters, and all of the wisdom that you give to your little sisters, to your little brothers, to your nephews, to your cousins, to your friends. All of that is vital if we want to give ourselves a chance in this life in regards to just making sure we stand strong up top, filling our heads up with good advice, things that I come across, things that I've learned in my life, things that I'm able to tell people. All of these is what's helped inspire this Trent's Tips. I always keep a nugget. I always give a nugget. I'm always giving nuggets. I'm giving nuggets too. As much as I give them out, I give them back. People give me wisdom. I run up on wisdom. It comes from all different places. And see me, I do myself a favor. And I don't reject it. I don't know, you ever talk to a motherfucker, you was trying to give them a little piece of wisdom and they felt like they was a little too good for it, or they felt like they just knew too damn much. I've never tried to be one of those guys, especially when I knew it was something I can learn, especially when I knew it was something I could immediately apply to my life, or if it was something I could just look out for to make sure I don't run into that little pothole, in life. And like I say, all of these things help me put together what I call Trent's Tips. And with everything that everything that I see people doing, I just want to remind people, like, with everything that you out here doing, put you on your plate too. Yeah, put you on your plate too. Think about it. I always tell people this, like, put you on your plate. You're doing a lot right now, and you're missing yourself. Think about it. When you sit down at the table, the plate full, you know exactly what you're about to eat. You got your meat, You got your sides. You got some bread. You got some dessert. All that shit. You got a lot of food on your plate. You piling up everything. But what we doing, what we fucking up at, is we piling our plate of life a little bit too high. We piling that shit high with everything else, and we forget the most important part, which is ourselves. That's where we make our mistakes at. We load our plates up with work. We load it up with deadlines. We load it up with family obligations. We load it up with everybody's problems, everybody's expectations, and we don't really get a chance to do shit for ourselves. We miss ourselves in that whole process, and we leave ourselves internally starving. Because you can put all this shit on your plate, and now you ripping and running, you stressed, trying to make this make sense with this, trying to match this with that, and you forgetting your whole life in that process. You losing yourself in this process. So now you making the shit, you making the goals, all the dreams that you have, you making them feel like they're not even worth it. Because it's more draining now. It's more draining now. You know, you forgetting all about yourself. You forgetting all about yourself, your personal life, your self-care. When you don't put yourself on the plate, when you don't carve out time for your own peace, when your own rest, when you don't give that a chance to exist, you're going to burn out. And that's all of those things that it presents. That burnout is coming and it's dangerous. It don't just make you tired, it make you bitter. And like I said, you're going to start hating the shit that you was just dreaming about. Now that shit feel like a nightmare. Now that job a nightmare. That relationship feel like a weight now. Everything that you prayed for now is prison. Because now you got to hurry up and make sure you entertain these things. Now you got to make sure you give it all your time. No. Please understand. Know this. And when you put you on your plate, you're not being selfish. You're not being selfish. You're surviving. You're maintaining yourself. It's all maintenance. It's making sure you don't pour from an empty cup, because you can't pour from an empty cup. You know how that's saying. Make sure you tell yourself that I'm going to schedule me in too. When you loading up all of those dreams, all those goals, all those ambitions, when you making sure you putting time in for everybody else, slide you a little corner. Slide you a little corner on that place so you can put something on there for you too. It might look like as small as giving yourself a little 30-minute walk, taking a walk around the block a couple times, taking a bike ride, cooking yourself a meal, going out by yourself. You ain't got to go out with people all the time. Treat yourself sometimes. Go get your hair done. Go get your nails done. Go get your feet done. Whatever it is, go get your hair cut. Go get a massage. Whatever it is you want to do, make sure you penciling yourself in your own life. So that way you don't feel like a slave to your life. So that way you don't feel like the very goals that you just dreamed of don't turn into prison. Making sure it don't turn into something that you're going to dread in the end. Something that you're going to wish you never done. No, don't do that. Put yourself on that plate. Put yourself on your plate. It's important. Because at the end of the day, can't nobody feed you like you can. Can't nobody rest like you can. Your body gonna tell you. Your body gonna let you know. You got to recharge your soul. For real. You know. The world ain't gonna stop asking for your time. The world ain't gonna stop asking for your energy. So you damn near gonna have to start stealing it. And it's fucked up that you gotta do that. Especially when you empowered yourself up with all your responsibilities. You gotta steal time. And then here it is, you can added yourself on with extra hobbies, extra business, extracurricular activities. Everything on your schedule. As soon as you wake up, sun up to sundown, everything on that list except you. You ain't ate, you ain't did nothing. You gotta make sure you taking care of yourself out here. Whatever it looks like. Don't starve yourself. Start today, tomorrow, next week, however it look like. Take that slice out, take that piece of peace. It's important to you. Put you on your plate. You can be out here motherfucking ticking time bomb. Because you ain't getting the shit you need. Because you neglecting yourself. Like, no, man. Pay yourself. Whatever it looks like. Pay yourself. Pay yourself with finances. Pay yourself with time. But put you on your plate too. It's important. That's some good tequila. It's important. And even with the next tip, this is just dealing with priorities, making sure motherfuckers just keep all their priorities in line. I always tell people this too. Keep the main thing the main thing. It's that damn simple. Learn how to keep the main thing the main thing. Because let's be honest, life is noisy than a motherfucker. It's all kind of shit going on every day. Something trying to pull you off course. Phone ringing. People wanting shit. People need favors. New opportunities popping up. Before you know it, you out here chasing 150 new things. And ain't now one of those things on the priority list. But you putting it in front of your priorities and it got you all fucked up. Because now you lost sight of the main thing. Once you do that, everything else is going to crumble. You start to miss deadlines. That shit going to get you frustrated. You waste time. Now you slowing down the progress and all the goals that you just made. Now you're not giving time for the shit that actually matters. Learn how to keep the main thing the main thing. Fuck those distractions. See, they don't always come dressed as props. Sometimes they be good things. Sometimes they be good things. You know, sometimes it's opportunity. Sometimes it's entertainment. Something that's gonna come in front of you that's set to look like it's better than jumping off course. But when you jump off course, you start to screw your priorities up. And then once you do that, everything that happens after that is your fault. That shit costs you time. That shit costs you money. You have to learn how to be disciplined and ask yourself, is this shit helping me keep the main thing? Or should I not do this? Should I let it go? Should I put it back? You just got to be a good judge of that. Knowing how to keep your priorities straight will just help life go a lot smoother with everything you're trying to do. Because see, what the truth is, the focus that you have is going to create that freedom for you. You know, when you know what the main thing is, you protect it. You move a little bit better. You move with more purpose. You start stacking those wins instead of setbacks. Shit start to go in your favor now. Sometimes it's finishing school. Sometimes it's building that business. Just sticking true to the status quo. Just like they always told you, first things first. You want to make sure you're doing that, making sure you're giving all your attention and your focus to what's in front of you. Prioritizing the right way, prioritizing properly. Not letting arguments distract you, not letting comparisons distract you, not letting side projects or whatever else you think is going to get you higher than the main goal that you want, not letting that bullshit distract you. Because as soon as you stop, as soon as you slow down, as soon as you get off course, you're going to lose more time. And everybody else that's staying the course, they're going to pass you up. Don't get sidetracked. Don't get pulled into that noise. For real. Protect the main thing. Keep it in front of you. Prioritize. First things first. You know how that go. Keep the main thing the main thing, and everything else will work out. While you up here putting 5 in front of 3 and 3 in front of 1, you doing shit backwards. Do that shit in order. And some things in life you're not able to do in order. Some things you just got to tackle as they come about. But see, even when you prioritize them correctly, that's how it's gonna go. Because everything is a number one. When everything is a number one, then it's just like I'm gonna attain these things. I'm gonna get these things. I'm gonna tackle these things. I'm gonna accomplish these things as I'm able to. In no order sometimes. But however it go, stay focused. Keep everything in front of you. It's gonna happen. It's gonna come. Keep the main thing the main thing. You'll be there. Moving on. Moving right along. And see what this next tip right here. What I liked about this is some old African wisdom. It's some old African game, a proverb that I picked up. This one says, one single bracelet doesn't jingle. You ain't never heard of that one. One single bracelet doesn't jingle. That's an old African proverb, like I say. Think about that. One bracelet on your wrist. No sound, silent, no movement. It ain't doing shit. think about that in regards to how you move in life as an individual versus how you should be moving as a team. When you start to move as an individual, sometimes you get out of rhythm. But the moment you add another bracelet, now you got more rhythm. Now you got some continuity. Now there's life. Now there's unity. And that's what collective action is all about. That's what the proverb means. Too often we out here grinding alone, thinking if we push hard enough by ourselves, the world's gonna hear us. But the truth is, one bracelet doesn't jingle, family. Another African proverb, they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And that's similar to this proverb right here. One person alone can only make so much noise. But together, you're going to create a lot of music. You're going to create a lot of noise. You're going to get a lot of shit accomplished. You're going to be able to shift atmospheres with the way you're moving with the teamwork. Together, everything moves forward. And that's what you need to understand when in regards to collaborative efforts. How do we make the bracelet jingle, though? If it's only one, collaborate, ask for help, network, build your network. That's how you build your network. Barter. I'm good at this, you good at that. Let's work together. You find people who carry strengths where you may be weak at, and that's how you strengthen yourself. Because you know you only as strong as the weakest link. So you lock on with somebody strong, and they can strengthen wherever you weak at, and you strengthen wherever they weak at. That's how that happens. That's how you're able to add more bracelets on them. Cooperate. That just means understanding. Sometimes you're going to lead. Sometimes you're going to play the supporting role. Sometimes you're going to be Batman. Sometimes you're going to be Robin. So damn what? If the whole effort is team, take any sport. It's never just one man all the time. Except if you Michael Jordan. But it's never just one man all the time. And there was some games, he couldn't do it alone. You know, he liked to try to say that, but everybody knows when you really want to start talking that basketball shit, Mike and Scotty, that collaborative effort, and even with them too, it was the Chicago Bulls and any other winning teams. You know, you can highlight one player's efforts, but one player on the team can't do it alone. Community is what's gonna keep that sound going. Just like Dr. Lee say, one band, one sound. We all moving this thing together. That's how your family stays strong. That's how businesses expand. That's how whole movements are born. Just collaborative. Just build a community. When the mission is shared, everything is more powerful. But see, when you out here trying to do the shit alone, yeah, you might be able to shine. You know, but it's gonna be for a little while. And you might not be able to go as far as you know you would if you was collaborating. Shit. When you join in, when you collaborate, you resonate. You last a little bit longer. You become more household. When you just you global now. We major. That's the shit that happens. You multiply your impact. You multiply that echo. If you want to make your life make noise, group up. If you want to make your presence matter, group up. If you want to be remembered, group up. Don't be a single bracelet. Link up with your homies. Link up with your friends. Start something good. Put y'all money together. One person might have the money. One person might have the credit. One person might have the business sense. One person might got the financial shit down pat. One person might got the whatevers. Put it all together while y'all say they're trying to do shit as individuals, wondering why it's not working. Just try working together. See how far you go. See how much noise that bracelet makes. Because we understand that one single bracelet don't jingle. Together, make that music. Make that music together. Understand that, family. Understand that. You understand that, you understand the world. You understand life. Things will work smoother for you. Moving on. I'm at that point in my life where the newspaper is gone. You know, they don't really sell newspapers like that no more. Or if they still do, they're not as available as they once were. But I'm at that point in my life where I'm still paying attention to current events and just making sure I scroll and find out all my foreign and domestic affairs so I know what's going on in the world. So that way when I'm just in the grocery store or when I talk to a client or whatever, and they ask me about what's going on in the world, I don't say shit like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't watch the news." I try to make sure I stay informed any and every way I can, whether it's news on social media, whether it's news that I'm finding on CNN or whatever news network that I'm entitled to watch to, whatever news network that I'm watching. I grab my information and I gather it. And that helps me have this topic that I call, the segment that I call, Forgive Me in This Lunar Zoo, Hot Topics, the segment of Hot Topics. And I got some good ones today. I was looking at these, I was reading these, I say, good goddamn. And I had to talk about it, had to bring it up, had to inform you guys. And this is what we're going to talk about right here. Louisiana has become the first U.S. state to authorize castration, surgical castration, as a punishment for certain child sex offenders. Wow. Wowzers. Louisiana just made history, becoming the first state in America to authorize surgical castration for certain child sex offenders. This new law, signed by Governor Jeff Landry and authorized by State Senator Regina Barrow, gives judges the power to order the procedure for those convicted of sexually abusing children under the age of 13. Now listen, this is monumental. Some people say it's about deterrence, it's about protection. It's really about sending a message to these motherfucking predators, warning your ass. If you think you want to be a child predator, your whole move finna be cut off, cuz. Shit, if you think you want to touch a child, that shit finna cost you a dick. You know, I got my opinion on that. I feel like child sex predators, rapists, and all that, once you found convicted and all, I feel like you should be unalived. But at the same time, this castration, I guess it'll suffice. Well, see, you got critics out here questioning the ethics. You got motherfuckers that feel like it's unconstitutional. They want to try to draw a line. I'm like, no. Because now it's a war. Now it's a tug of war. Because you got the people on the other side feeling like it's about these kids. Fuck that. They set a precedent that the rest of the country is watching closely now, because other states, once they see if this works, they're going to follow suit. Governor Jeff Landry signed Senate Bill 371, making Louisiana the first U.S. state to authorize surgical castration. Now let's get into the details. It gives judges the discretion to order surgical castration, but not automatically. Not just because you get tried and convicted. I don't know why, but at the same time, judges get to decide. If I'm guessing maybe they got to hit something terrible, even though the whole case is fucking terrible, but I'm missing. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. So now, supporters are saying, like I say, this is about more protection. This is about deterrence. But you got people arguing, saying that this shit is wrong, questioning its ethics, questioning that it's unconstitutional, questioning and saying that they're not even sure if it's gonna fully work. Just because you cut their penis off or you castrate them however you feel like you need to, what's gonna stop them? They may move or they may strike again. And I hope damn not, but at the same time, this should help. Shit. You see, we got other states like New Mexico, South Carolina, Oklahoma, all these other states. Now they want to join in, because now they like, shit, this is a good idea, and I think it should work. I think it should be passed with no pushback. No pushback. Because see, the law ain't nothing but a warning shot. I'm gonna tell you this: you do something to one of mine, you ain't got to worry about being castrated. I'm gonna take care of it. You know, you do what you want with that information. You know, I ain't gonna sit there and incriminate myself, but two and two is four. You know the math. Protect these kids. That's my whole stance about it. Number one, the shit shouldn't even be up for debate. I feel like there's any law that gets presented, however heinous it might sound, I don't give a fuck if it's unconstitutional or not. Think about the turmoil these kids gonna go through after they've been touched, and we sitting up here trying to figure out laws for these motherfuckers that's out here touching and raping kids. Nope. We cutting your shit off, or we're gonna do whatever is necessary. We're getting rid of you. So I'm with this. Shouts out to Louisiana for making sure they was the first state to go to get this approved. I hope they don't make nobody no example, but at the same time, if it happens, you gonna find out. You gonna find out. And then as I'm scrolling again, reading again, finding out what's going on in the world again, I see a clip that kind of got blowed out of context, but it didn't. Oh, well, they wasn't able to get enough context anyway. I don't know, but it made me delve a little more into this. Warren Buffett, billionaire Warren Buffett, says a college degree doesn't matter. And see, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Seeing as in it's coming from a billionaire. But recently, billionaire Warren Buffett made a statement. You know, they got a lot of people talking. He was in his shareholder, in his 2025 shareholder letter. He said he never really looks at whether a candidate has really been to school or not. That ain't really his deciding factor. And that's really what the whole statement meant. Some people was getting offended and shit. So, oh, I got my degree. And I know that and I respect that. But at the same time, I don't think he was knocking it like that. But anyway, seeing as in is coming from one of the most successful men in America, self-made billionaire, a man worth over $100 billion, I felt like we need to qualify this statement a little bit. Here's a little bit more context, though. Even though he went to school, he got himself a bachelor's degree from Nebraska and a master's degree from Columbia. The thing he feel like is most valuable, it is traits that you really don't have to get from school. It's communication, integrity, talent, discipline. All of those things that don't necessarily reflect a master's degree. Is I feel like that's what he says matters to him a little bit more. The thing that he calls his most valuable education, it really wasn't from a university. It was from a $100 Dale Carnegie public speaking course. He said that the class changed his life, changed his whole perspective on things, because communication mattered more than any grade on paper. You gotta know how to talk, gotta know how to speak. Communication is everything. But the whole reason all of this makes sense is because of what he believed. And I feel like I say, he's $100 billion man. Let's qualify what he's saying. I feel like he know the route. The talent, the integrity, and the discipline is what drives success, not a diploma. You know, he built his empire by finding people with character and the ability to do that. Not fancy resumes. It's cool to have it. And I don't think he was knocking that, but at the same time, the stuff he was looking for, you don't necessarily need a master's or a doctorate to have. But let's be real. That don't necessarily mean college is useless. Don't take it that way. For real. That's not the goal. That's not the message that we're trying to send. And I don't think I know that's not what Warren Buffett was saying. Because you definitely gonna need a college degree out here. Shit, I'll be feeling a lot of time. I need to go back and get me a motherfucking degree in communications, or, you know, to help myself grow and have, you know, this world, this lane, this field that I'm in. But you just know that sometimes you can't measure your skills in the classroom. And that's what he knows, you know. College graduates make more money on average, but at the same time, you lean towards that entrepreneurship. I don't know, you may do a little bit better. Or you can kind of mix them both. Take what you learned in school to be able to branch out and go further with your entrepreneurship. And see, the truth is, the degrees don't necessarily guarantee greatness. I tell you this right now, if I had $1 for every person that I know had a degree, tell me that they would rather be a barber, or they wanted to be a barber, or they wish they just knew how to cut hair, I'll retire. Because I hear it so much. Sometimes people just go through courses. Sometimes people just go through motions and just to find jobs in fields that they feel like that's where the money is going to be. So that degree don't necessarily matter in regards to how far you can go with a company or with a business owner or with your own business, but it does matter in regards to just representation, and I respect that. But it just helps you build networks. It helps you build more networks, flat out. The truth behind all of that is that degree can be your foundation. It can be your launch pad, but it ain't necessary. That's all Warren Buffett was really trying to say. That's all the message he was trying to get across. He wasn't really trying to piss nobody off. See, at the end of the day, success don't come from that diploma. It comes from you. And that's what you got to understand. That's all he did. He just got a motherfucking bachelor's degree. And in today's society, I'm not even sure if a bachelor's degree has as much weight. No diss to anybody that has a bachelor's degree. I don't. So I ain't knocking it, but at the same time, $100 billion man, that's all he got. So I don't think you need to, if you got a good plan, if you got these other traits that's going to help business go and flow and thrive, especially in 2025, the diploma, the degree ain't necessarily everything. All that shit come from you. Your skills, your character, your drive, that's what's going to keep you in the room. Not the fact that you got a whatever letters that you got on the back of your shit. And it's all respectful. I ain't knocking none of it. But that's not what's going to get you in the room. That's not going to be the only thing to get you in the room. You're going to need a little bit more than that. That's all what Warren Buffett's saying. This third hot topic right here, this was pretty, this is kind of sensitive. This is a little heavy, which is why I kind of saved it for the end. In Burkina Faso, the West African nation just made headlines across the world because it just passed a law that officially makes same-sex relationships illegal. This isn't just talk. This law carries serious consequences. Consequences which may take up to 5 years in prison, hefty fines for foreigners, possible deportation, and if found guilty more than once. That's tough. Because the shit was once legal. And now you wake up, now the shit criminalized. President, this law was passed. Let me look. Highlight. This law was passed under Captain Ibrahim Traore, the military leader who's been running the country since 2022 after a coup. Traore has been in the news a lot lately, though. He's young, only in his mid-30s, and he's painted himself as a strong Pan-African nationalist, which he's been, not necessarily painting himself. That's who he is, according to all the reports. I don't know him personally, but everything I'm reading and finding out about him, he's who we say he is. He's been vocal about kind of getting away from what we know and understand as Western culture, that Western influence. And that's probably some of the reason why this is a hot topic. See, this is African culture, not necessarily American culture, and I get it. We stick our noses in other people's business, and we try to make their problems ours. But some of these things don't be our problem, and we should really mind our business on and respect those countries and their laws and their views, because what they're trying to do fit right into their image. Much of Africa is same-sex relationships. They ain't really viewed the same way they are here in America. They're viewed as illegal, taboo, forbidden. They ain't supposed to be doing that type of shit. And see, because of the way America sees their laws and their views on same-sex marriages, we got a problem with it. They think the shit is bizarre over there in Africa. But like I say, what we got to do as Americans, we got to learn how to respect that shit. We gotta learn how to respect that shit, because if you shift gears for a moment, even if you wanna come from an American perspective, you gotta see, you're gonna see that this is greatly controversial. Like I said, this ain't really our business because it clashes with everything we talk about when it comes to freedom, equity, human rights. But this is a foreign affair. This is some foreign shit. I don't know. We getting involved. If we know we cool with what we doing, all right, cool, you know. And even in the American aspect of it, it might be an influx. It's going on a little too much in my opinion, but at the same time, that's that right. Education, the you gotta see it. You know, shit, it's out here. You know, shit, I don't got no problem with it, but at the same time, if that's not the culture in other countries, we can't try to step in and try to do nothing about that. But see, that's what Abraham wanted to do. The cultural divide comes in though, because many African countries, they just want to justify laws like this by pointing and standing on the laws of reproduction. And that's really the thing. It's not that I don't want to see you have what you got. I don't want to see you happy or, you know, whatever you doing. But we believe in reproduction. And if we consent to it, if we don't find a way to punish what we truly believe in when people go against it, you look up over time, production rates, birth rates going down, numbers going down. I don't know what they in fear of, but that's their thing. That's their problem. Let's let them handle that. Shit, I don't think we need to get involved. Let's let them do that. That's their law. Much love to Africa. Coming from somebody that feels like you should be able to do whatever you want to do, I get it. Coming to America, shit, if this goes against how you feel, young African people coming to America, shit, you know, they allow it. You good. You can come, you know, be with whoever you want to be with. This Luna Zoo got me tripping. But I'm feeling good. But I think about a lot of times I get I talk to people and we just have conversations because we know we invest in shit. Sometimes we play different lotteries, you know, we do things just to make sure we getting rich. And I talk to people and they ask me questions like, man, Joe, when you get on, what you gonna do? When you get on, how's it gonna go? Sometimes I think about how it's gonna get on. Sometimes I think about how it's gonna be when I get on in regards to being impulsive. Oh, I'm gonna have these cars, I'm gonna have these houses, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But at the same time, when I really think about it, when I sit down, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. But I need to figure it out. And that's how life gonna come at you. Life come at you fast like that. And you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. And all of that teaches you, all of that really is helping me prepare to vision my life, to see my life in these great places. Once the impulse is gone, how you gonna impact the world? What are you gonna do to give back? How you gonna change the children? What are you gonna, you know, just, I don't know, find these ways, find these things, write these things down, have these goals. You can do this shit. Dream big. Vision. You know, don't just always see yourself having fun partying, but just see yourself being impactful, making a difference in the world. You know, you talk a lot about health, you talk a lot about just being kind or whatever. Vision yourself doing that. Charities, whatever it is you want to do, wherever you want to go, if you want to expand in whatever, I don't know. But just take that time and think about what you're going to do with your life, what you're going to do for yourself. Because life going to come at you fast. Sometimes you're going to be ready, sometimes you ain't going to be ready. Which you just gotta know. Sometimes you gotta go off the cuff. Sometimes you're gonna go off TF, off the script. That's what I'm doing right now. For real. And you just gotta get used to that. Sometimes when things don't go the way you need them to go, you gotta improvise. Improvise, baby, because the cameras is rolling and you can't say cut. What you gonna do? Ready or not.
Thanks again for tuning in to the Trent the Truth Show. Please make sure you like and subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. Follow us on social media, Trent the Truth. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want to be a guest, email me at TrentTheTruthShow@gmail.com. Again, that's TrentTheTruthShow@gmail.com. Thanks again. Tell your friends. Watch it together.